Brunstetter here. It's kind of funny, it's actually been quite some time since I've done one of these. Where exactly is Project Galaga and Runaround? Especially those of you that were actually at the premieres in June. That's been a few years now since that last one. But the main reason we're finally having another one of these vlogs is to cover some very important stuff that finally needs to be brought to everyone's attention. So I'm going to explain it as best as I can. So some of you may have noticed at this point that TheRicworks has no longer been putting out a fairly steady stream of videos. To kind of summarize what's going on, there's a lot of changes happening, well, for TheRicworks and everything else in general at this point. So as far as TheRicworks goes, fairly soon from now, TheRicworks will no longer be TheRicworks. I'm doing this huge overhaul to this channel that a lot of you have been familiar with for the past... It's been 5 years now. We've been making videos for what seems like longer than that, honestly, but we've been making these films that you've gotten used to, the Fridge Killer movie, Galaga, and Runaround. That's all happened over the course of these past 5 years, so it's amazing to think of all the stuff that we've actually done, you know, since we started making this a thing of ours. But every great thing has to come to an end, and in that end, there's a new beginning each and every single time. So basically what's happening with TheRicworks is it's being overhauled to something, to what you're already used to now, but something a little bit broader in this case. TheRicworks is going to become its own little media outlet, basically, for free content, you know, stuff that you wouldn't expect to have to pay for, stuff that has to do with already pre-existing license, whatever. Films, movies, video games, so on and so forth. TheRicworks' future will be shaped into something where any filmmaker, if they'd like to actually have a label, in a sense, a free label, of course, this is just more so, it's going to be an outlet, a really neat little creative outlet, so other filmmakers will have the chance to present themselves and to show off content that they aren't aiming to actually make a living off of necessarily, or in this case, more so, you know, free content, basically. It's the sort of stuff you wouldn't expect to be making, you know, money off of. It's free content. It's meant specifically for the viewer's entertainment. So the original dream of what I've had intact since I did TheRicworks will remain with this channel after it's overhauled. But because of that, it's going to be meant for newcomers of all sorts, anyone that just wants to have an indie film put out there, or an indie short, anything along the lines of, well, this is meant to just flat out entertain you. Pull it up on the computer, you watch it, and there you go. That being said, because of the changes, there's a lot of videos that are floating around on this channel that are going to be taken down that don't fit the criteria of what's going on here anymore. There's a lot of old advertisements that I did for my grandma's book trailers that I did in the past. Those will no longer be on here, but just because they're not going to be on here anymore doesn't necessarily mean you'll never be able to watch them again if you're interested in that work. A lot of this stuff will be relocated to my actual personal channel in this case, where my one-man studio setup will be more so portrayed. I will still be using the TheRicworks channel after its overhaul to post any content that's meant to be, you know, viewed for free. I'll still be posting content here that's specifically meant for the viewer's entertainment. So, any of the films that you've already been used to on here, Fridge Killer, Galaga, Runaround, they're staying put. So you don't have to worry about them disappearing. Same goes for any of the shorts that are on here. That stuff will remain, well, for as long as this channel stands, even after its overhaul. So expect changes there. You'll get to see a little bit more of what's to come in the next few weeks, hopefully. I've been really busy, you know, to top things off. That's part of the reason why this overhaul is happening, is that since we've been doing all these productions, and the reason things are slowing down is because so many of us, our lives have changed so much. We don't have the time that we used to just sit down and make these full-length feature films. I'm actually amazed that we pulled it off when we did, and I'd like to say thank you for every single one of you out there who made it possible. All of you who chose to play the parts, all of you who, you know, kept supporting me and supporting everyone else during these times when we were making these films, you know, way back when it was just a school project to what it was after we got out of high school, when we made Galaga and when we made Runaround. I'd like to thank every single one of you for allowing these to even happen, because without you guys, there would have been no movies. And that stuff will stay for anyone who is ever interested in checking them out. That will not be disappearing, despite the changes, despite the alterations. That being said, aside from the TheRicworks channel being overhauled, my personal channel, which any of you have been used to at this point for the past year, maybe 2 years now, the Azure Flame 92 channel, that's my personal setup. That's getting overhauled too, because of all the stuff that's been going on with me. Me in particular, I've been busy doing freelance work as far as photography, video work, book covers. It's been a pretty crazy ride. So because of that, I'm trying to get myself a little bit more, no, not a little bit more, I'm actually trying to get myself set up as a professional now, to have a more professional flair, and to have something that's more appealing to, well, the general public, basically. And there'll be links and stuff for you to check out on that as well. I will continue to fill you in after you watch this video. That being said, aside from me, a lot of our key players that you've seen over the years, like I said before, a lot of us don't have the free time that we used to. We're all pursuing new things. A lot of our key players that you've seen in a lot of our films are off now doing their own stuff and making a living off of their lifestyles. But there'll be more on that later. I might even wind up making a third and final vlog, but we'll figure it out. I just wanted to at least get this out here. That being said, it's time to fill you in on stuff to expect on this channel. Despite its overhauls, you're still getting some new content at long last. Like I said, we've all been really busy. I've been really busy. I haven't had as much time to come back to do this stuff because I've been doing stuff for clients. What to expect? Well, for a lot of you, you've been expecting Runaround for a little while. At least the true version that I've been talking about ever since the premiere version's been posted. Runaround should have been up years ago, but stuff doesn't always go according to plan. I decided that I'm going to be posting the true version of Runaround that you've all been waiting for on the 29th, which is actually the 2-year anniversary since I originally premiered it over at Melody Lane, thanks to Tony. Thank you again, Tony, for allowing us to actually use Aiken Center Theater to premiere that movie. That was pretty awesome. So to commemorate the occasion and the fact that finally, after all this time, everyone's finally getting the chance to see what Runaround would have been at the premiere if it weren't for the fact that I was squeezing in the Galaga premiere just a week before. You can now finally see what Runaround was supposed to be since then. So 2 years later, here we go. Here comes the true one. So there'll be some pretty cool stuff to promote it. I'll be putting up some links to wallpapers and posters and stuff just to get the hype going again. So yeah, look forward to that. And then to wrap up, the big conclusion to the fact that all this began 5 years ago when we started with The Fridge Killer. It's kind of, in a sense, the old is ending where it began. A while back, some of you might have actually seen a sneak peek video to a director's edition of The Life of a Refrigerator Killer, and that is a real thing. That is still happening. Later this year, in the next few months, I will be posting the director's edition of my very first film that I did back in high school. I'm taking everything that I know now, or have learned since then, and applying it to footage that I filmed years ago, that back when I started using this software, I had absolutely no idea what I was doing. The me of the now trumps the me of then. So you'll get to see that through the original version, which I posted 5 years ago, and this director's edition with all my latest tricks and editing, capabilities that I can pull off now with this pre-existing footage. So check that out. There'll be new scenes that you never saw in the original. There'll be extended scenes, altered scenes, improved visual effects, its own remixed soundtrack compared to all the soundtracks that I borrowed from different things, Halo, whatever, TV shows, other games. I borrowed a lot of stuff for the Fridge Killer soundtrack, so... But the director's edition will have its own remixed soundtrack, original to its fullest extent, as far as original remix stuff can go. There'll be some pretty cool stuff to look forward to there. That being said, the true version of Runaround, I kind of derailed myself there. The true version of Runaround will also have footage that was not featured in the premiere version for anyone who was there for the premiere or has watched the premiere version that I uploaded on YouTube a few months back. So there'll be extended scenes, additional scenes that didn't make it into the original cut at the premiere. So the movie will be longer. It'll fill a couple of the plot holes that kind of were left open to anyone who's seen it before. So look forward to that. So you get the true version of Runaround coming and the director's edition of my first film, The Life of a Refrigerator Killer. And that will be concluding the old ways before the changes begin. So after those two films have been posted, that's when you'll see the true changes to the RBIII channel. And during that time, you'll be seeing the changes to my personal channel as it becomes no longer AzurFlame92, but something new, which you shall see pretty soon from now. So to conclude this video, I want to say thank you to everyone that has even made it possible these past 5 years. it's hard to imagine just all that we've done, honestly. Like, going back through, looking through the history of all the videos that so many people took their time out of their schedules to be a part of, to contribute their talents to step up and do something that they've never even done before. A lot of these people have never done acting before, or never even thought of doing anything like it. And some of them were people who've only had little experience with acting. Some of them were people that were just used to stage acting, who've never been in front of a camera before for anything. A lot of people took some pretty, daring steps, honestly, to help make my dreams become a reality with all those films that I did then, and honestly what led me to what I'm doing now. I'm actually doing stuff for clients now. I'm doing stuff that's putting myself out there. It's just, it's exciting, and I'd like to say thank you, because, without your guys' support, I don't think I would have made it this far. I really don't. So to conclude, like I just said, thank you everyone for what you've done and what I hope we'll continue to be able to do together. It may not be the same as it used to be, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. There's so many more things to come over these years, and I'm excited to see where it's all gonna go. So to conclude everything, overhauls to the RBIII channel. My personal channel will also be extremely overhauled. You have the true version of Runaround to look forward to on June 29th this month. And you also have the director's edition of my first film, The Life of a Refrigerator Killer, to expect over the next couple of months. And when the time comes for both, as time draws nearer to the actual premiere dates on YouTube, you'll be seeing some really cool promotional stuff to go along with it. And if you've been checking out any of the stuff on my personal channel or on the Facebook pages, you've been seeing some teases to future stuff that we will be doing. You got a really cool Zelda fan film to expect. You got a very bizarre horror film to expect down the line too. So, like I said, things may be changing, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. There's still plenty of neat stuff to, to look forward to at this point. So once again, thank you for all your support, and I look forward to showing you more to come as these years go by. But, of course, until that time comes, farewell.